everybody, welcome to BBTV. I'm Kyle with Brotherhood Baits. Today's segment is going to be a do-it-yourself type of a segment in regards to making your own charging station. I run several stationary GoPros in the boat, and between my phone, electronics, and the GoPro, I'm constantly having to change batteries or charge electronics. So I thought about this idea of how I could make my own, and what I've come to realize is it's relatively inexpensive to make your own, and it's really afforded me a lot of confidence when I'm in the boat. I don't know if it's a healthy or unhealthy fear of draining down my batteries with all of my electronics, and I want to be able to run my electronics all day long, meaning accessory electronics like GoPro, and not come back to drain batteries or to compromise myself in any way. So I made these, and I'll show you how to do it today. It's very easy, it's really inexpensive, and I recently used them on a trip a couple weeks ago when fishing with Tony and Kevin, and what I found is that it was everything that I had wanted it to be and hoped it would be, in the fact that I have complete mobility within my boat of where I can set up my GoPros, and I never had to change a battery. I run 2 cameras, and I never had to change a battery the entire week that I was there. So if you run GoPro type systems, you know how often you have to constantly change batteries, and so that in itself was just complete benefit to me, and it gave me the confidence that I could do what I wanted with my electronics and my GoPro, and I didn't have to worry about anything at all. So today's segment is a little bit about that. My boat, I run a 2005 Crestliner. None of my ports have been converted over to USB chargers. That's pretty much what's being used now exclusively. So I'm going to show you how you can make your own charging bank station. I've chosen to use USBs, but you have the option of using the 12-volt car charger or using multiple ports on there. This meets all of my kind of expectations between charging my cell phone or keeping my GoPros running. In a future segment, I'll kind of show you how I've taken the GoPro housings, modified it so that I can continuously have a charge running to my cameras. Sometimes the housing blocks that, so it's just a quick modification to do that. So you don't need a lot of equipment. And before I get to that, I wanted to let you know that I'll have everything that you need in the description comments below with a link. So everything that you need to purchase, you just click on the link and purchase directly. So kind of real easy. You don't have to go searching around. Everything that you're going to need will be found pretty much exclusively on Harbor Freight or Amazon, and one item is off of eBay. So the equipment that you're going to need to use, some tools, is you'll need a drill, you'll need an 1.25 hole bit, you'll need some electrical tape or shrink tubing, and then you just need an electrician tool for stripping and crimping. From there, let's start with the housing. The housing I found at Harbor Freight, I wanted it to be waterproof for obvious reasons, so I went with a cheap and easy ammo box from Harbor Freight. Pretty self-explanatory. It has an O-ring to keep it waterproof. The key is they're not expensive. I think they're regularly like $6 at Harbor Freight. If you keep an eye out, they do have a coupon that comes out. It makes them like $2.99, $3. So for $3 you can have your housing. So what you'll do from here is you'll use your 1.25 hole saw and put your hole wherever you want. All right, quick and easy. And then for the most part, you're done with your housing. From there, you're going to need a black and a red wire of appropriate gauge. 6 inches is all you really need. What I found on Amazon was inline fuse with a 15 amp fuse housing. Everything I've done, I've tried to go waterproof with, so the fuse housing's waterproof. The USB port is waterproof. Basically just has a flap and an O-ring on it. So you'll actually cut away some of the red. It's a little bit too long. I think this cost me $1. I bought them in a pack. Ended up being like $1 a piece. And then obviously what you'll do is you'll splice away either end. You'll put your terminal connector on either end according to the gauge that you use. And I'm using the Spade female connector, which I'll throw up there for you. And then on the battery terminal side, so you'll have the USB side and then you'll have the battery side. On the battery side, you're going to want to pick up, if you can see this, these are called piggyback terminals, and I'll explain why this can be helpful later. So it is a female Spade end with a piggyback male Spade coming off of it. And then you'll do the same thing with the black. And then you have to decide what terminal that you want or how many multiple terminals that you want. I just did one terminal, but I think it'd be a good idea if you have other applications, is you can do 2 or 3 terminals to give yourself options. On eBay, there's a guy, a store called 12 Volt Technology. His name is Andy. He has everything that you need from different ports to different options. Also, if you buy the kit, they'll come pre-wired for you so that you can run multiple options off of one battery. So 12 Volt Technology, his name's Andy. He'll answer any of your questions. He answers them really quickly. Great opportunity. I think they're like $8, individually. You can buy them in a package for 2 or 3, and the price becomes a little cheaper. He's got voltmeters. He's got toggle switches. A bunch of different options for whatever you would want to use them for. Some other things that you'll need will be obviously a 12 volt battery. Amazon's got them, really inexpensive. I think the battery's right around $12-13. If you buy them in pair, they get to be a little cheaper. And then the last thing that you'll need will be charger, clip-on charger to recharge it in the evening or what have you. A really quick aside option that I picked up, not knowing if I was going to be helpful or not, is Harbor Freight actually has a solar panel that's small enough to be portable, but yet big enough to charge your batteries. So I picked up, this is what the box looks like. All right, I'll show you that in a second. I'll also throw up a picture here so you can see it up close. But what's super cool is it's a solar panel, but I was able to charge the battery that I was using while I was using it on my boat. It comes with several terminal ends that you can change out. It started out with, where did I put them? Started out with the big gator clips, and I didn't like those. Nothing wrong with them, I just didn't like them. They were kind of bulky, so I ended up just putting the female Spade terminals on the ends, and that's where the piggyback clip comes into place. So I'll have that connected to the battery, and then this piggybacks on the male portion of the connector, and I can be charging my battery while I'm using it, and I'm not even draining down my batteries. So, and I'll show you a finished picture at the end here of what it looks like. And then from there, literally in your 1.25 inch hole, there'll be an O-ring or a gasket that will make it waterproof. Just put your terminal in, you put the nut on the opposite side, thread it up finger tight. The key here is, when you're putting it together, is you're going to need a little bit of area, and I'll show that in a second because obviously the terminals come out. The battery is not big enough, or the box is slightly bigger than the battery, so it will slide around a little bit. So one thing that you'll need to purchase or repurpose at home will be some foam. I just found some that I had around the house. My wife had recently purchased a computer, went in there, and it kind of fit perfectly. In other boxes that I've made, right next to my Harbor Freight is a dollar store. I went and bought a foam noodle for $1 and cut it up, and it works perfectly to size in there, so it's relatively inexpensive from there. But really, guys, if you can see that, and I'll show you a picture here to demonstrate, is I'm just running the terminals, and I've got my fuse in line, and that's really it. You know you're hooked up correctly when your light lights up. And that's really it. So far, so good. It's been really invaluable to me and to my boat, just giving me the ability to put my GoPro cameras at the bow, at the stern, off my windshield. I can move them wherever I want. Also might be helpful if you are running GoPros or something where you need, I put mine up on a pole up into the air so I can have better perspectives or pictures of the boat. You might want to order a long USB. They come in crazy long lengths. I think I ordered 10 feet, and that's been kind of the ideal length for me. So I'm kind of curious as to what other guys are doing with their GoPros, how they're charging. So I'd really hope that you guys would comment below about different options that you have, different items that you're using. Are you guys using the sticks? If so, how do you like them? What are you doing with them? So I'd really like to kind of get a conversation going and seeing what other guys are doing, send pictures. So feel free to comment below. Hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and then comment below. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.